All right, now to some politics. The Bipartisan Talks Committee has written to the speakers of the National Assembly, that's Moses Wetangula, and his Senate counterpart, Amason Jeffer Kingi, seeking, among other issues, the recognition and financial support to kickstart the talks that have been on the preliminary stages for the past 1 month. Now, the 14-member committee has now prioritized the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, the reconstitution as a matter of urgency. Now, the commission has remained vacant for about 4 months now. KTN's political affairs reporter Emmanuel To with the latest.
In the letter signed by the co-chairs of the Bipartisan Talks Committee, Rarieda legislator Otiende Amolo and Tharaka Member of Parliament George Murugara, the two co-chairs are seeking to notify the speakers of both houses, Moses Wetangula of the National Assembly and Senate Speaker Amason Kingi, of the Constitution, mandate and recognition of the committee. The committee is also seeking financial support from the House to fund operations of the 14-member team. The letter also requests the exemption of the members from the House business during the period of talks.
We are not seeking formalization from Parliament. We said we are giving notification to Parliament, yes, for recognition.
The committee will from next week embark on the most critical matters that include the reconstitution of the electoral agency IEBC.
We have constituted a subcommittee of 6 members. On the Azimio side, Senator Sifuna is a member, Senator Wambua and Honorable Millie Odhiambo, and they are convened by Senator Sifuna. On the Kenya Kwanza side, Senator Halwale, Senator Sigei and Honorable Mutuse are members, and they are convened by Senator Sigei. We expect that by the time we come back, they'll have concretized thoughts around that.
This comes 4 months after 3 commissioners, including the former chairperson Wafula Chebukati, retired, while others were shown the door after the acrimonious 2022 general polls. The fate of the IEBC selection panel, which was set to recruit a new commission, remains in the balance. With a 60-day deadline that began on the 11th of this month already ticking, the committee will be rushing against time to receive views from the public after the committee agreed on a hybrid system of deliberations that will involve both parliamentary and extra-parliamentary process.
Beyond expanding this group of the bipartisan, the 7-7, we are not adding any new members apart from the joint secretaries from either side. So those who are coming in will come in as a technical team or a reference.
We are contemplating having an entity that we can bounce certain ideas off them. Before we concretize. And that is something that has always happened. When we were making the constitution, there was a reference group. Almost at every stage, even during the National Accord, there's always an entity outside, that has certain stakeholders.
The committee has also defended its points in the framework agreement that decisions agreed upon in consensus will be ring-fenced against amendment by the House.
The most recent examples were the joint committees chaired by Governor Orengo and Governor Kiraitu on the electoral laws. But before that, you remember, even the National Accord was ring-fenced.
These are very serious talks, and when you go to Parliament, we expect them to receive the seriousness they deserve.
The committee has already received some funds from the Electoral Law Governance Institute for Africa, with the committee's terms of reference listing Parliament, well-wishers and partners as possible sources of funding. The two speakers are now expected to communicate to their respective houses about the Bipartisan Talks Committee when the House resumes its sittings after the recess at the end of this month. The Bipartisan Talks Committee is now expected to begin its sittings in earnest, with several matters prioritized as urgent, including the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission taking the center stage. Emmanuel To, KTN News, at the Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi.